So last night we obviously talked about the Katie Nolan, Jason Whitlock, all that stuff. We talked about that on stream. Put the video out there like we usually do, and I am now under attack for being the biggest simp on the face of the planet. So I am the king of the Katie Nolan simps. I think this stuff's kind of funny, to be honest. As y'all know, I'm not afraid of negative comments or dislikes or whatever. It comes and goes with the territory. It's all fine. But I just wanted to kind of highlight how I am a simp. Now, we talked about this video, so I'm not going to really, or this topic, so I'm not going to really focus on the topic. I'm not going to really focus on like restating where I stand with the Jason Whitlock, Katie Nolan thing. But I will say this. I thought we were actually pretty even. And chat, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, y'all were part of the conversation, but I think we were actually relatively even in where we were on this. I mean, I thought Jason Whitlock made some good points. I think that some female analysts or some female reporters are certainly there because of their looks. And that is unfair, for sure. It is unfair that women, or men for that matter, get put up on the stage even though they may not be the best hire. It's for sure unfair. But like I said in the video, I don't blame executives on TV for saying, hey man, we're trying to make money here. We're trying to drive ratings. Give me a hot girl. It happens. It's a dog-eat-dog world. TV execs, all that stuff, hiring, producing. I guarantee you in Hollywood, in music, that same shit happens where, hey, this girl might sing really, really, really good, but this other girl can sing okay, but she's also really, really hot. That's how, like, big musicians happens. I mean, like, Susan Boyle, you know, if Susan Boyle looked like Katy Perry, Susan Boyle would have been a bigger star. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where I understood it for sure. And then we talked about Katie Nolan, and we talked about what Maria Taylor's saying, that is it fair that women should be a total package? I mean, no, but it's also expected. I mean, it's a dog-eat-dog, highly competitive world, so being a total package will certainly get you hired easier. I thought that was pretty down the middle. Like, I thought that was pretty down the middle. And let's take a look at what everyone has to say about this. So, 7 likes to 19 dislikes, which is like a 25% ratio, which is pretty bad. So the Google algorithm probably didn't like that one. So let's take a look at the king of the simp situations. Sorry, dude, she ain't going to get with you, from Sefton Cookie. This was a real popular one. Again, not siding with Katie Nolan at all. Actually, kind of saying that maybe Jason Whitlock might be right here. Dude, you are a simp. 18 likes. Then I responded, whoa. It's no simp September, which everyone knows. Everybody knows that we adhere to no simp September. Everybody knows that. Everyone knows that 100%. It's not about her being a bartender. It's the fact that she excelled with very little body of work, and according to him, even less talent. I mean, that's one of those things where I think he meant to say something different, but if she excelled with no priors, then that's kind of like a reason for you don't have to have priors if you can excel without them. You know, there are people pulled off of the street that do really well. I gave the example of Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt was a waiter at Bubba Gump Shrimp Factory before he was famous, you know, like, and he's done fine. So you don't have to do all this stuff and prove yourself, or, you know, you don't have to have like this perfect professional resume to be hired to positions and to exceed expectations in those positions. Certainly having a background helps. Certainly having experience helps. But sometimes, especially in stuff like this, I mean, The Weeknd was homeless. You know, The Weeknd was homeless for a little bit. He was uploading songs on SoundCloud. He didn't need to be musically trained. He didn't need to have collegiate, symphony training or anything. Let's keep going. Watched her for a bit to see the talent. Whitlock is right, nothing to see. She's the AOC of sports. An interesting thing here, and this is going to make my simp status even worse, but an interesting thing here is that there is no debate over if she's talented or not. Like, I'm not even saying she's talented. That's not what we're talking about at all. That's just kind of up to the viewer, you know? I mean, some people like Jimmy Fallon. I'm not a big Jimmy Fallon fan, but I'm not going to sit here and say that Jimmy Fallon shouldn't have a job because I don't like him. Like, there's millions of people out there. So I think the people who are debating if she's talented are kind of missing the point. You could argue if anyone's talented. I mean, do y'all think Shannon Sharp is that great of a mind for sports media? I don't. Should he have a job? I don't know. Like, some people like him. I don't know. It's a different taste, different stroke for different folks. F. Katie Nolan. I mean, I don't know. All right, sure. With respect, at least they're respectful. Unlike everyone else calling me the king of the simps. With respect, you're wrong on the TV executives needing female personalities to be attractive and men needing to be relatable. I don't think I am, but I'll continue. TV execs are mostly men, and we live in a patriarchy and have now for a while. That would seem to benefit the idea that they need hot girls. Their decisions are being made from a skewed or warped or biased perspective. Agreed. And making my point for me. Nolan is right. If all things were being equal, which they're not, female personalities should only also have to be relatable, or the males should have to be attractive as well. Oh, well, that's the classic two wrongs don't make a right. You can't say, that's not equality, right? Like, that gets mixed up. Okay, so saying that it's not fair for the girls to have to be total packages, if things were equal, the men would also have to be total packages. That's not equality. That is just unfairness across the board. If all things were equal, no one should have to be the total package. No one should have to be attractive. You should just get hired on your merit, which we know is not how the life is. Next, empty wagon rattles the loudest. I saw this quote about Katie Nolan somewhere else. I actually like that saying. Again, this is about like how they perceive her talent, but I like the quote. Dude, what Whitlock is saying is you can't go from bartending to quickly becoming a TV sports analyst overnight and get paid 7 figures. What you are doing here on YouTube makes you more qualified than her. You have ugly people hustling and others who cover sports for many years and never get that shot. I agree. Look, I agree that that's unfortunate. I agree that that's unfair. I agree that that's a problem. But that is reality. That is life. Just like a waiter or a waitress or whatever, if you go into a job interview and you're dirty, or you're not, your hair is a mess, or you have long hair, or you have tattoos or something, you may not get hired versus the clean cut person. Is that fair? No. But public perception's a thing. Like, it is what it is. Whitlock said that Nolan is the epitome of white privilege, and the Bomani Jones of ESPN who say they're woke but stay shut because they want to get paid. He says they're hypocrites. I mean, look, the wokeness, the fake wokeness, the fake, all that stuff, that's a different conversation for a different day. I do think there is a lot of virtue signaling out there. So I do kind of agree in some senses that I think these people perceive or want to be perceived to be more virtuous than others. Katie Nolan is fire, though. She literally isn't. Look her up on Google Images. Super boring. These always interest me. He didn't have to say all that. But he did say, your self-confidence is self, so you should be good. Keep practicing. I'm going to subscribe to see if you get better. Great compromise. I'm there. If someone says I'm boring, but they subscribe and they watch it all, hey, who gives a shit? Oh, this should be good. I guarantee you Trump is not president because of his extensive knowledge on foreign policy. He's the president because he was able to sell himself and his personality to a voting public that's loaded with laymen. That is... he must be agreeing with me because that's exactly what I said. He got elected to presidency because he put things in layman's terms and was able to have a further reach due to the simplicity of his message, racist, bigoted, and deplorable though it was. While other who were more knowledgeable, more experienced, like Marco Rubio, was using fancy words and complicated formulas which normal people who aren't in politics or don't follow politics couldn't relate to. Is it fair? No. Was Trump the most qualified? Not even close. But like you said, sometimes that's just the way it is. But I bet Whitlock doesn't have a problem with an underqualified president, but he has a problem with what he perceives to be an underqualified sports show entertainer, which holds a lot less significance in the grand scheme of things. All because he works for a right-wing network that pays his bills while Katie Nolan disses him in the past. He says what's his financial interest to say not what he actually believes. He's mad that Fox got rid of him because they refused to match his asking price while Katie Nolan is still employed and paid well. Whitlock column was based on jealousy and envy more than it was on honesty. hey, that actually wasn't bad. That was actually a really, you know what? That was actually a really thought out, a nice comment. That is critical thinking. They presented that. You know what, Mo? Let's give Mo a hand. That's what I like to see here, because I'm not saying I agree with all of it. I agree with a lot of it, but that is him stating his policy. That is stating what Mo believes. He's relating it to the video. He's putting his stuff out there, and that's what comment section should be. It should be, let's take a look at this. Let's read it. Here's your opinion. I appreciate that, Mo. Mo is the kind of commenters that we need. You two would be a lot better with Mo. Also, this video is super boring. Wait a minute. Didn't we just read a Theodore? Oh, yeah, this guy. Empty wagons rattle the loudest. Also, this video is super boring. Maybe he should take the empty wagons rattle the loudest advice there. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I am unfortunately now the king of the simps. I am unfortunately now the lord of the simps. Katie Nolan and me are destined to be. Although I did not back Katie Nolan in this argument, I did not back Jason Whitlock in this argument. I presented the argument, I presented the topic, gave some commentary, but now you are looking at your king, the king of the simps, reigning forever here in No Simp September. So, unbelievable stuff.